Chapter 15. Part 1. His laugh fades when we hear a honking coming from outside my home, and by that, I know Camille finally arrived. Camille's here, I say when I grab my jacket and purse. Heading outside, Chris follows right behind me. The snow has finally almost melted by the sun shining down upon us, but it's still freezing with the wind blowing cold air, so thank goodness I'm wearing my jacket. A red pickup truck is parked in front of my home with the windows rolled down, and I instantly spot Camille's curly hair on the passenger seat. James must be on the driver's side. "Hey girl," she says, then looks behind me and notices Chris. "Hi Chris," she says politely and smiles. Well, that was unexpected of her. Maybe this evening will go smoothly if everyone will keep being nice to one another. Sushiana and I are taking my car. "We'll follow you there," he tells Camille rather harshly and hauls me away from her. "We'll meet you there, Camille," I yell as he pulls at my arm. Why did he say that to her? I didn't agree to go with him. She was actually being nice for once and not being the obnoxious person she always is. That was rude of him to do to her. What the hell is his problem? You really need to stop grabbing me like that. I scream and jerk my arm away, but he just grabs my arm again and pulls me to his car. He lets go of me and opens the passenger door. "Get in," he demands by shouting at me. I cross my arms and stand my ground. Who does he think he is to treat my friend like that and then treat me like this? I'm so angry at him for treating her like that, when she was clearly trying to be nice toward him, and now after that, she will be back to being vicious. Great. These two are going to kill each other before we even finish having lunch. If you are going to act like this, then I would rather go with Camille, I threaten. I can tell he's getting upset with me by his cheeks flaring to a deep red, but honestly, I don't care. If he's going to act like a jerk, then he can go home. He stays silent and rubs his hand over his hair in frustration, I suppose. "All right, have it your way, Camille," I shout. "Okay. Fuck," he yells, then corrects himself. "Can you please get in the car, please," he begs, but he clenches his jaw, and if I didn't know any better, he looks like he wants to shove me in his car. "Yeah," Camille shouts back. I glance at Chris's angry eyes, but there's something else besides anger in those eyes, pleading. "Never mind." And with those simple words, a wave of relief washes over Chris like a waterfall. I guess he would rather have me ride with him than Camille. He said he's not fond of her, but he must really not like her to go to this length to get me to go with him. "Then, can you guys get in the damn car, so we can go?" she bickers. Chris rolls his eyes at the same time I do. "If she doesn't get here in the next 10 minutes, then we are going to go ahead and order," Chris growls. We have been waiting here for 20 minutes, and the more I spend time with Chris, the more I found out that he does not have any patience for anyone, and he's losing his patience, fast. Camille decided to text me the address. I thought they would be here already because they took off before we did. Where the hell is she? Maybe she's doing this on purpose because how have Chris treated her, she always gets even, somehow. Or just maybe she won't show up. Oh, she better come because she's the one who called and wanted me to come to this restaurant. This freezing restaurant, that's too cold for me to take off my jacket. Gosh, outside is warmer than inside here. I should have requested to be by the fireplace, instead of by this window. She better show up or I might kill her myself if Chris is not planning right now to murder her. He has a look on his face that says he wants to do just that. I wish these two would get along, so we can all be good friends. But I can see with these two acting like they both want to murder each other, friends are out of the question. After what seemed like forever, the waiter with red hair and light brown eyes sits Camille and James at our table, along with a tray of the iced teas we already ordered. "What would you two want to drink?" the redhead asks. "I'll have a Diet Coke," Camille says. "Get me a beer," James orders him. "Never mind on the Diet Coke, make mine a beer too," she says sweetly. "I'll be back with your drinks," the redhead writes down on his notepad and leaves. "Hey, sorry, we're late. Did you guys order yet?" Camille asks, not a sound of concern in her voice. Then again, why would she? Chris looks like he wants to say something harshly towards Camille, but refrains from it. No. We haven't yet, we were waiting for you too. I say calmly, but on the inside, I want to yell at her. I see Camille's hair is sticking up like she stuck her hair in a socket, which tells me she has been doing something they should have rented a room for, or at least could have called they were running late. I guess having sex in a car is much more fun than having courtesy. Sorry. You know how traffic is, she obviously lies, but her looking like a complete mess tells me otherwise from the fake story she made up. Clearly, Chris is not buying it either. By the way, he rolls his eyes. To lighten up the mood I say, thanks for inviting us here. You're welcome. It was James' idea, she smiles at James. I force myself to look at him and he's smiling at her, then at me. I return the smile. Oh Chris, this is James, I was going to introduce you in the car, but you didn't want to ride with us. She smiles, but I know that smile, it's her evil smile that says I would get payback any way possible if I get the chance. Anger is plastered through him, no, rage. He looks like he wants to say something equally hurtful, but he's holding back. Camille still has that smile, challenging him, and I mouth her to stop it. I feel like this is my fault for coming here. Why did I come here and invite him? When I know these two don't get along even for 1 minute. We should have stayed at my house. Chris stretches his long arm out to the center of the table to grab 2 sugars, he rips open the packages and puts them into his tea. He glances quickly to my side as he stirs it slowly with his spoon and a faint smile plays on his lips. I look away to my own tea. Shit. Is that obvious? I was staring at him just now. Hello, Chris. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself earlier, James says anxiously, his thick New York accent comes visible. Chris stays silent. He doesn't give him an answer and drinks his tea. No way. Not you too, Chris, with them trying to get even, to see who will get the highest score of being a jerk. Playing this game with Camille and you started is not going to solve anything. This is not even James's fault for being in the middle of this. I don't like James, but just because I don't like him, doesn't mean I would want to be hateful toward him. Why does Chris hate James, anyway? Well, it looks like Chris does not like very many people, he did say he doesn't get along with others. But, why does he put up with me? Maybe because I am helping him in class, he has no choice, but to be nice to me. Technically, sometimes he can be cruel towards me, but he's not that bad to compare to how he acts despicable with others. Right now, he's attacking James and I'm not having it. I kick Chris on the leg and he chokes on his drink. I pat his back to stop the coughing. Whoops. I didn't mean to choke him, I just wanted him to stop being a child and answer James or give him a nod, any of those would do. He turns to look at me and his eyes narrow. What? Yes. I kicked you because you are being rude, please talk to the poor man. Now I'm giving him a pleading look. He rolls his eyes and turns his gaze at James. Hi. It's James, isn't it? He asks without looking at him. He wasn't at all polite about introducing himself, but at least he's not ignoring him. Yeah. So, do you work, Chris? James is trying to make conversation, but I really don't think Chris is up to talking to this man. Please don't be rude to him, Chris. No. I attend BU with Sushiana, he looks up and smirks at me. I heard that was a good school. I went to NYU and graduated last spring. Now I'm working at Brockman Publishing. What do you do there? I ask, not because I'm being nosy, but because I'm curious. I'm an editor. I read manuscripts, review them and determine what material is most likely to please readers, and offer suggestions to improve the product. Are you an English major? He asks. No. Just like me, she's a marine biology major. Chris snaps and I glare at him, more like scowl at him. I can answer for myself, Chris. What's his problem? Today he's been acting like a jerk to people, including me. His mood swings always seem to change. First, he's nice, and then he's thoughtless. I can't keep up with him. I wish he would be polite to everyone, and not impolite. It seems like I am learning he has a temper on him and I don't like it. Why is he so moody?